Your top stories this evening sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Government ready to comply with extradition request for NAZAR and AZRUDDIN Mohammed, says NANDLALL. FGM accuses PPPC of manipulating the electoral system to make Guyanese obsolete. Guyana awaits ruling in US $100 million smart city parking meter case. President Ali urged to convene 13th sitting of the National Assembly. And in sports, GFF'S FORDE appointed to FIFA'S Men's National Team Competition Committee. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Wednesday, October 8th edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. We tell you first up that government is ready to act upon any extradition request for embattled politician AZRUDDIN Mohammed and his father NAZAR Mohammed. So says Guyana's Attorney General NANDLALL. Here's more. Should the United States of America request extradition of NAZAR Mohammed and AZRUDDIN Mohammed following their indictment on October 2, the government of Guyana is prepared to act on such a request. That's the assurance of Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs NANDLALL when he appeared on his social media program Issues in the News.
Guyana has made it very clear that it is ready, willing, and the most able to diligently discharge its legal duties and obligations under the current extradition framework that exists with the United States of America in relation to this matter.
Mr. NANDLALL explained that the extradition relationship between Guyana and the United States is governed by a 1924 treaty originally executed between the United Kingdom and the United States and Guyanese legislation, the Fugitive Offenders Act, which was recently modernized and amended in 2024.
So you're speaking about 150 years of extradition relationship between what is now Guyana and the United States of America.
The leader of the We Invest in Nationhood Party and his father, NAZAR Mohammed, have been indicted by a grand jury in a U.S. Southern Florida District Court on charges of wire and mail fraud and money laundering. What follows is an extradition request.
In Guyana's independent history, at least, I know of no request for extradition that has been refused by any government of Guyana. As I said, we have a long history of cooperating with the U.S. on these matters.
Mr. NANDLALL revealed that the United States authorities kept an eagle's eye on the operations of the Mohammeds.
What that means is that this process commenced long before the PPP got into office. In fact, it spanned 2 governments of Guyana and 2 governments of the United States. Different governments of the United States and different governments of Guyana.
The Mohammeds, along with their business entities and former permanent secretary under the People's Progressive Party civic government, May Thomas, were sanctioned by the U.S. Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control in June 2024 for public corruption and gold smuggling. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The Forward Guyana Movement Party is accusing the People's Progressive Party civic of manipulating the electoral system with the intent on making the Guyanese population irrelevant. The party's leader, Manza Walton Desire, says electoral reform is the only answer. Marvin Cato reports.
What the PPP is doing, and this, I've said this 5 years now, is that they're deliberately engineering the population to make Guyanese irrelevant. They're making it so that they don't need Guyanese vote.
That was leader of Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, Amanzo Walton Desir, speaking at the weekend. FGM says the use of Commonwealth citizens for electoral gains by the People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC have not gone unnoticed. The party is alleging that as part of their conditions of work, those citizens must first agree to a certain political persuasion in order to gain employment.
So they can go in there, they do whatever they want, and then elections happen. And because they have engineered the system, because, you know, there is capture of GCOM, they can do what they like.
Using salient points, the FGM leader promulgates the fact that the electoral system has been made significantly weaker by the PPPC over the years to its advantage.
This is why it is vitally important that we understand why our electoral system needs urgent reform.
It therefore means that the opposition in the 13th Parliament, with a new configuration that is unfamiliar territory politically, has its work cut out, especially now that there is a 6-seat buffer for the incumbent.
A strategic opposition has to function in a manner that it makes the government, it makes ignoring proposals by the opposition politically costly for the government to ignore.
When the 13th Parliament convenes, Forward Guyana Movement will be seeking to influence major decision-making with its lone seat. The party, however, recognizes that feat would not be an easy one given what transpired during past parliamentary sit-ins. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Works on significant portion of the $1.45 billion Aubrey Barker 4-lane expansion project are moving apace due to contractors being forced to work around the clock to complete the project, which should have been completed more than 2 years ago. Antonio Day reports.
Despite harsh criticism regarding the prolonged delay of the $1.4 billion Aubrey Barker Road project, Minister of Public Works, Juan Edgel, affirmed that the project is advancing rapidly. He related to Nightly News on Wednesday that the completion of a pipelaying exercise has been a major bugbear for the contractors.
We have just been able to get some encumbrances that were in the path of the road removed, and we're doing some work with GWI to relocate pipelines, and then the road will be completed.
He estimated that 85% of the road is now completed, and a completion date is yet to be determined. The project, which was awarded to Surrey Paving Aggregate Company Caribbean Limited, commenced in August 2022 and was expected to be completed and delivered in July of 2023. More than 2 years have elapsed. On Tuesday afternoon, President Irfan Ali conducted a site visit and noted that the project will be completed before year-end. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead. Thanks for staying with us here in the HGP Nightly News. On the police blotter, an alert policeman quickly moved into action and arrested a fugitive who was sentenced to 4 years on human trafficking charges. More details in this report. The long arm of the law has finally caught up with a fugitive who was convicted over 2 years ago for human trafficking. 45-year-old Tito Brown, known as Tommy and Yankee, was arrested by police on Tuesday, October 7, following an intelligence-led operation just hours after his return to Guyana. Brown was convicted in March 2023 and sentenced to 2 4-year prison terms for trafficking 2 Jamaican nationals. He was also given an additional 1-year sentence for withholding the victims' passports. In addition to his jail time, Brown was fined $200,000 and ordered to pay $6.3 million in restitution to the victims. Yankee was first arrested on April 28, 2021 and remanded to prison on human trafficking charges. However, after securing High Court bail, he fled the country before his case concluded. Nightly News understands that the fugitive returned to Guyana at the weekend and was spotted having drinks with friends in All Boys Town. That was when the policeman, who was on alert, moved in and placed him under arrest. Sources have confirmed to Nightly News that investigators are now awaiting a warrant to have the fugitive formally committed to prison. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Nightly News was reliably informed that Yankee was committed to prison late Wednesday afternoon. Leader of the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, Simona Brooms, is calling for a more inclusive and strategic approach to national development. Brooms reflected on the commissioning of the just concluded new Demerara River Bridge, the country's political climate, and the evolving role of smaller political movements in shaping Guyana's future. Jada June reports.
Leader of the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity, ALP, Simona Brooms, has commended ongoing infrastructural development across Guyana, including the opening of the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. However, she expressed concerns over the decision to name the new structure bridge, describing it as immature and divisive. Brooms reminded the public that the major infrastructure projects such as the expansion of the East Bank and East Coast highways are early plans for the bridge began under the previous coalition government. While acknowledging the bridge's importance, Brooms said while the rollout should have been managed better, and I quote, "change brings delays but not mediocre one," close quote, she added that detailed planning in public collaborations are key to sustainable development. On the political front, Brooms addressed the broader issue of governance and unity, warning against decisions that deepen national division. She insists that naming a national infrastructure should reflect unity rather than political allegiance.
We are already too divided, and so if we really love Guyana, there must be consideration for the people, all the people, and not some of the people.
Brooms reiterated her call for political maturity, accountability, and unity in leadership.
We can't continue to divide the country and say, man, well, listen, I'm in power, and this is how it will go. So I disagree. I disagree with that. We got to find some ways, some common ways. All right? The Demerara Harbour Bridge is fine for me. I'm not going to go on and on and on about that. And I ain't throwing no shades. I'm telling it as it is. This is my opinion, please.
Jada Drew reported for HGP Nightly News.
A multi-million-dollar international arbitration case over Georgetown's controversial parking meter project has reached its conclusion, and the government of Guyana is now awaiting a ruling from the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. The ruling will determine whether the country is liable for damages following the cancellation of the Smart City Solutions contract in 2017. Tiana Cole will tell you more.
Guyana is awaiting a major international ruling that could have significant financial implications for the state. The arbitration hearings between Smart City Solutions Holding Inc. and the government of Guyana over the controversial parking meter project have officially concluded in Paris. Hearings in arbitration proceedings between Smart City Solutions Holding Inc. and the government of Guyana regarding the parking meter project commenced on September 29 and concluded on October 4 before the International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes, ICSID, in Paris. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Annie NANDLALL on Tuesday, during his program Issues in the News, stated that Guyana is now awaiting a key decision in the high-stakes legal battle over the scrapping of the 2017 parking meter deal that could cost the country up to $100 million. It
included the examination in chief of these witnesses, as well as the evidence adduced from them through cross-examination.
He added that once process concluded, both parties were invited to present their closing arguments.
The tribunal has reserved its decision for a date to be announced. Of course, the parties will be informed in due course of that date.
Back in May 2016, the Georgetown Mayor and City Council, MNCC, under then Mayor Patricia Chase Green, signed a contract with Smart City Solution for the introduction of a paid parking system in Georgetown. The meters became operational in January 2017, but amid intense public pressure, the then coalition administration intervened and suspended the bylaws that allow for the implementation of the metered parking, effectively halting the project. As a result, Guyana is now being sued for $100 million in damages resulting from the terminated contract. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
There is more news ahead. Stay with us. Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. We tell you now that Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd has reaffirmed Guyana's commitment to advancing regional partnerships and trade as he joined world leaders at the Italy, Latin America and the Caribbean Ministerial Conference. The story from Tiana Cole.
Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd on Tuesday participated in the Italy, Latin America and the Caribbean Ministerial Conference, which brought together leaders to discuss strengthening ties through trade, energy and diplomacy. The discussions form part of ongoing preparations for the upcoming 4th EU-CELAC Summit. Minister Todd told the conference that the world has evolved significantly since the launch of the biannual forum in 2003, with notable shifts in global dynamics and the structure of the international community.
Growing economic inequality, climate change, energy security, food insecurity, and significant demographic shifts are recognized as some of the major challenges that require international attention and policy solutions.
He emphasized that partnership has now become crucial elements in building and strengthening national economies.
Over the years, we have acknowledged the structural inequalities and gaps that exist within our societies and across our countries. We must now take a conscious effort to pursue solutions towards effective strategies that would bridge these economic gaps and overcome the direct and indirect barriers to trade.
Minister Todd added that the session will provide an opportunity for meaningful discussions aimed at creating an enabling environment for increased business investment and trade expansion among participating nations.
We can do more to expand these arrangements and to encourage increased trade and commercial activity between our regions. We can develop strategic partnerships to achieve these objectives.
He further noted that Guyana recognizes the vital role of international trade as a strategic tool for deepening political and economic relations.
Trade between Guyana and Italy has increased significantly between 2015 and 2024.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Political commentator GHK Lal is urging President Irfan Ali to fulfill his mandate as outlined in Guyana's constitution to announce a date for the convening of the 13th sitting of the National Assembly. Lal noted that there should be no further delays as the business of the state and its citizens remain paramount. Antonio Day will tell you more.
On July 3, 2025, President Irfan Ali signed the proclamation to dissolve the 12th sitting of the National Assembly, which paved the way for the conduct of the recently concluded September 1 general and regional elections. This was done in accordance with Article 72 of the Constitution. However, Article 67 of the same Constitution empowers the head of state to issue a proclamation appointing the place and time for the commencement of a session of Parliament, which must be held within 4 months of the dissolution of the previous Parliament. Political commentator and analyst GHK Lal, however, noted that with the constitutional time frame of 4 months soon to expire, the government should have already announced a date for the convening of the 13th sitting of the National Assembly.
You've got some new ministers on board. You've got some ministers in new portfolios. Definitely by the 4th week of September, there should have been an announcement. The Parliament will be meeting this week towards the end of it or early next week.
Lal stressed the importance of convening Parliament within its stipulated timeline, as it shows signs of responsibility, accountability, and productivity regarding the business and affairs of the state and its citizens.
You want your people to go out there and get some seasoning in Parliament. You want Parliament to be humming so that the people of Guyana will see that their business is being tended to after all the noise from the campaign and all the promises from the campaign trail.
According to Lal, he's unaware of what could be preventing the president from fulfilling his mandate as outlined in Article 69 of Ghana's Constitution. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Regular screening as a powerful protection mechanism is the message as the fight against cancer continues. The Ministry of Health and One Communications has partnered for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Jada June is on this story.
But together, we can fight back.
Early detection saves lives.
This powerful message anchored the joint Pinktober campaign spearheaded by the Ministry of Health in collaboration with One Communications, as both entities continue their mission to raise awareness about breast cancer and promote the importance of early detection. Under the theme, and I quote, "Act Now, Live Strong," close quote, the campaign embodies chorus of strength, hope, and courage, amplifying real voices and real stories of women and families affected by breast cancer. Through a series of community outreach activities, educational sessions, and media engagement, the initiative aims to empower individuals to take proactive steps in safeguarding their health. Health officials emphasize that early detection, regular screening, and community support are key components in the fight against breast cancer. The message, and I quote, "Big or small, check them all," close quote, serves as a powerful reminder that self-examination and timely medical consultations can save lives. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony reaffirmed the ministry's commitment to supporting national cancer prevention programs and improving access to diagnostic and treatment services across Guyana.
Regular screening is powerful protection.
Healthy habits can lower your risk.
Hope grows stronger when the community stands together.
The campaign's creative collaboration with One Communications reflects a shared dedication to public health and social responsibility. Through impactful storytelling and multimedia outreach, the Pinktober message encourages all Guyanese to stand together, act now, and live strong, in solidarity with those affected by breast cancer.
Support gives strength to those in treatment.
Research brings us closer to cure every day. Hope is stronger than fear.
Together, we can make cancer a thing of the past.
As October unfolds, the Ministry of Health continues to call on citizens, communities, and organizations to join the movement, because together, we can make cancer a thing of the past.
Your voice can inspire action.
Big or small, check them all. Act now, live strong.
Jada June reporting for HGP Nightly News.
To end our lead stories, Forward Guyana movement strongly believes that the Guyana Elections Commission has failed the citizens of Guyana and vows to collectively work towards fixing that electoral body. The party is also accusing GCOM of sidestepping an issue raised by an elector. Marvin Cato reports.
In fact, our GCOM is quite an aberration when you look at the configuration of other electoral management bodies across the world.
That was Forward Guyana Movement FGM leader Amanzo Walton Desir breaking down the issues on the podcast Sources. The party that gained one seat in Parliament could heap coals on all stakeholders and hopefully bring about the necessary electoral changes the organization desperately needs.
The Guyana Elections Commission needs to become a technical body staffed by competent technical persons.
Walton Desir has amplified calls for a complete revamp of the local electoral body.
There is need for the entire configuration and construct of the Guyana Elections Commission to change. This arrangement was intended to be a temporary arrangement, and it is almost 30 years old.
According to Walton Desir, issues such as changes to a registrant's information without that person's knowledge has yet to receive the attention it desired, despite it engaging the Guyana Police Force.
Absolutely no follow-up, absolutely no update, and GCOM has done nothing to convince us that this is being earnestly pursued.
Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Good evening and welcome to Wednesday's edition of the Regional News. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, has launched new guidelines designed to support health workers and other professionals in identifying and responding to vaccine misinformation, which it describes as a growing phenomenon that threatens to undermine confidence in immunization and jeopardize public health progress across the region. The guides provide practical tools for key audiences, including health workers, national immunization program managers, health communicators, journalists, educators, and content creators, to strengthen their capacity to recognize and counter false or misleading messages about vaccines. Studies have shown that exposure to vaccine misinformation, even for a short period of time, can negatively influence people's perceptions and their decision to get vaccinated, said Daniel Salas, Executive Manager of the Special Program for Comprehensive Immunization at PAHO. The documents outline common strategies used to spread false information, such as using data without scientific evidence, appealing to strong emotions, promoting conspiracy theories, discrediting experts or institutions, and selectively using true information to make false claims appear legitimate. They also offer guidance on identifying red flags in misleading materials, including frequent spelling or grammatical errors, sensationalist headlines, and the excessive use of capital letters or exclamation marks. Waterspouts and a weak tornado Tuesday damaged and blew off roofs of several houses in northwestern Trinidad, but there were no immediate reports of injuries or deaths. The Trinidad and Tobago Met Service said that around midday local time, a low-level throw together with daytime heating produced strong isolated thunderstorm activity, which created waterspouts and a weak tornado over the northwestern Trinidad in the vicinity of West Moorings. It said that conditions are expected to improve later on Tuesday and that partially cloudy to cloudy conditions and thunderstorm activity are ongoing. Rural Development and Local Government Minister Khadija Amin, who toured the area, told reporters that the authorities would be engaging in data collection for every damaged household. She said that some of the houses, because the structure is so soaked, it is not safe to turn on electricity in that house, warning that people could be electrocuted. Up to press time on Tuesday, the police were still trying to locate the father of 13-year-old Shantina Sargent, whose charred and decomposed body was found under a zinc beside a burnt-out refrigerator in Clarendon. He is 46-year-old Lawrence Oliver Sargent, otherwise called Marcus, a farmer of a Riverside Drive, Clarendon address. Head of the Manchester Police Superintendent Carrie Duncan disclosed near midday on Tuesday that investigators believe the elder sergeant can assist in the investigation into his daughter's death. He outlined the sequence of events which led police to the child's family home in Clarendon, which falls under the jurisdiction of the Manchester Police. On Friday, a missing person report was received at the Christiana Police Station in respect of one Shantina Sargent, a 13-year-old student of the Christiana High School. Shantina was last seen on Wednesday of last week, and as part of the investigations, the detectives in that space visited her home, where the charred remains of her body, believed to be that of Shantina, was found in a burnout refrigerator. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
Let's join Delvin Neblet for HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I am Delvin Neblet with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Wednesday, October 8th, 2025. The Ghana Football Federation is proud to announce that its president, Wayne Forde, has been appointed to serve on FIFA's Men's National Team Competitions Committee for the 2025 to 2029 term. The appointment was confirmed by FIFA following decisions recently taken by the FIFA Council. Mr. Forde will serve as a member of the committee, which plays a key role in shaping policies and overseeing matters related to men's national team tournaments globally. The appointment represents a significant achievement not only for him personally, but also for Guyana and the wider Caribbean football community. His inclusion on the committee reflects the growing recognition of Guyana's leadership and contribution to the development of football at the international level. Meanwhile, the Ghana Football Federation recently held its largest FIFA member association referee course with 24 referees and 6 observers participating in the intensive program aimed at keeping local refereeing standards on par with global best practices. The annual course focused on recent changes to the laws of the game, tactical fouls, handball, game management, professionalism and fitness, combined with practical field sessions involving local clubs. The course, which concluded on September 30, was facilitated by FIFA technical instructor Joe Audi from Canada, FIFA's fitness instructor Kelisha Antoine of Antigua and Barbuda, and FIFA referee Javier Santos. The futsal component of the program concluded on October 2nd. Also in football, action resumed tonight in Division 1 of the Ghana Football Federation's Women's League 2025 with 2 fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence. The first match featured the Namstel versus the Ghana Police Force FC, while the second match currently underway features the Ghana Defence Force FC versus the Fruta Conquerors. In volleyball, the Classic Ball Blasters proved themselves to be superior over the weekend as the Georgetown leg of the National B Division Volleyball Tournament hosted by the Demerara Volleyball Association was staged at the National Gymnasium on Mandela Avenue. The Blasters began the tournament with great confidence, defeating both St. Stanislaus College and GDF in straight sets. Match number 3 was a challenge from Vanguard as all 5 sets were needed to secure a 3-2 victory. The runners-up Castrol Volleyball Club had a similar path to the final with an unbeaten run, winning 3-1 against both Vanguard and GDF before being awarded a walkover victory against Saints. The Classic Ball Blasters would dominate in the final, defeating the Castrol Strikers 3-0 to be crowned 2025 champions. The top 2 teams will now advance to the National B Division playoff, representing Georgetown. And finally, in cricket, the Ghana Cricket Board will be officially launching the 2025 Queensway Inter-County Super 50 Over Tournament at the Hermanstein Lodge on Thursday. Commencing at 11 hours, the launch ceremony is expected to feature members of the Ghana Press Association and key stakeholders in this year's Inter-County Tournament. On Saturday, the GCB announced the 4 squads, coaches, and team managers that will feature in this year's competition, which bowls off on October 11th. That's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwyn Neblet reminding you to stay in the game.
Government ready to comply with extradition request for NAZAR and AZRUDDIN Mohammed, says Anil Nandlall. Forward Guyana movement accuses PPPC of manipulating the electoral system to make Guyanese obsolete. Guyana awaits ruling in US $100 million smart city parking meter case. President Ali urged to convene 13th sitting of the National Assembly, says political commentator. And in sports, GFF'S Wayne Forde appointed to FIFA'S Men's National Team Competitions Committee. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.